Hey, I'm driving right now, so I'm gonna lay my phone down and keep an eye on the road. But you're gonna have to have this angle because I got a new pop socket on my phone, and it doesn't fit in my little grippy thing that holds my phone up. You know, when I'm using like my GPS and stuff. So you're gonna have to see under my butt chin or whatever the angle is right now. But anyway, I've seen a few videos. Actually, it's been a lot of videos of the new Ghost of Yote game coming out, which I downloaded Ghost of Tsushima last night, and I might jump into that because I've never played it, but everybody talks it up, and I was like, oh, okay. So I may jump into that because I watched the first episode of Shogun, and that show is awesome. It was just the first episode, and I'm like, this is great. I want more of this, please. And, well, you got Ghost of Tsushima. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll download that. I'll play some more samurai stuff. It'll be fun. And then there's an announcement for Ghost of Yote, which is the sequel to the game. But everybody's up in arms about the fact that there is a woman protagonist. Whereas the last game, it was a male protagonist. But apparently that's a problem now, all of a sudden, because I really haven't heard anybody mention more than just a few games that have female protagonists. But here's the thing, they say a lot of the people a lot of the people say that they the person behind the camera is saying that they don't mind playing as a woman or as a female character or whatever in a video game, but they don't mention the fact that nobody has said anything about the past games where you do play as a woman, especially with like Nintendo, because people who grew up with Nintendo stuff, I didn't. I grew up with PlayStation 2, but those who grew up with Nintendo, I feel like are very They love their Nintendo games, right? They love their Nintendo games. And I know a few people, not personally, but I've seen some people on the internet that are just, you know, Nintendo stans, right? Like they just love Nintendo, and they're complaining about a woman protagonist. And I'm like, whoa, hold on, wait. You have two franchises in Nintendo that are so popular with the masses. Like, everybody knows these games if you're a Nintendo fan. I'm not a huge Nintendo fan. I'm just a game fan. I like video games, so I know a lot about, you know, other consoles and stuff like that. But you have Samus Aran, right? Secret reveal back in the day when you play Metroid. You know, by the end of it, I think it was by the end of it, yeah, at the very, very end of the game, she takes her helmet off, and it's a woman, and you're like, oh, shoot, I've been playing a woman the whole time. Nobody has anything to say about Samus Aran, right? She's a tough, you know, woman protagonist. Nobody's saying anything about Samus Aran. I never hear anything about that. Nobody's saying anything about, and this is understandable because she's overly sexualized, but what is her name? She's got... Her whole suit is made of hair, and, like, literally, her whole suit is made of her hair. And she's got, like, guns on her heels, she's got 2 pistols, and she fights, like, demons and stuff. Like, it starts with a B, and I can't remember what it's called. But nobody has anything to say about her, which, again, understandable, because these, like, dorks on the internet who don't like women in their games or whatever... They're like, oh, well, she's got big boobs, and she's super hot, and she does all these, like, sexual moves, and she's, like, trying to kill stuff, so it's okay. All right, whatever. Nobody has anything to say about Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn. She, like, one of the most beloved games of PlayStation, and nobody has anything to say about her. Nobody has anything to say about the female Spartans. Nobody has anything to say about the, basically, female, what are they called? Space Marines. I'm pretty sure there are literally female Space Marines in the lore, but there's a bunch of people who want to gatekeep that and want to be like, oh no, you can only be a male if you're a Space Marine. No. There's like two factions. One is like, they're basically like super bodyguards. That's kind of what they look like. They have this gold, like really nice gold armor with like spears and stuff. And then there's this other faction that's, again, apparently not Space Marines, but man, they look like it. Who usually wear like black and red, and they have skulls and stuff, and they're women, and they're super tough. But again, I don't hear anybody saying anything about those characters. Again, okay, here's another one. What was it? Mirror's Edge. I can't remember her name, but Mirror's Edge. Great game. The first version, I guess, of the game back in the day. I had it on Xbox 360. Love that game. Such a good game. Great art design. Great character. Loved it. And then they remade it. I can't remember what it was. Catalyst, I think. Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Again, basically the same character. It just looked prettier. And it already was a pretty looking game. And nobody has anything to say about her. She's kicking people's asses left and right. So, like, I don't understand why all of a sudden there are talks about, you know, black samurais and women in video games, or like women protagonists and stuff like that. Oh, I'm not going to play this game because it's got a woman in it. Oh, I'm not going to play this game because it's got a black guy in it. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? Who gives a shit? Like everybody else is saying, I don't care what the game is. I just want to have fun. If I like the character, if I like the gameplay, if I like the aesthetic, I don't care. Just give me a fun game to play. I don't care who I'm playing as. My fiance and I, we're playing Baldur's Gate. We have 2 campaigns open. We got one, that's the main one, where I'm literally playing a dragon guy, right? And then in the other one, I'm playing a woman tiefling. And she's gonna romance Karlach, of course. Like, who wouldn't, right? But, like, who cares? I've also seen this thing where a lot of people are getting all pissy about, like, oh, there's no male and female body archetype anymore. It's body type 1 and body type 2. Get off the internet, dude. Get off the internet. Go cry to your mom in your fucking little hole. Like, nobody cares. Genuinely, nobody cares. Like, why does it matter so much to you? Okay, how about this? I've heard this a couple of times because people have been complaining about the body type and, like, adding, like, body modification. So, like, transgender people. There's, what's it called? The new Dragon Age game. Apparently you can have, like, surgery scars and stuff like that. Okay, cool. That's awesome. I'm almost out of time. But there are people that are complaining about that, and I'm like, okay, take all that shit out. Take out pronouns, take out a female protagonist, take out all women in video games, apparently. How does that help? What makes that game fun? Keep the same story, keep everything else. What does that change? Why does that make you all pissy? Like, who gives a fuck, right? Like, who cares? I don't understand this mentality. And I know it's been going on for a long time, but, like, I keep seeing it and keep seeing it and keep seeing it. And I have to say something. And it's just so frustrating because I don't care. First off, it's video games. Secondly, it's movies. It's TV shows. Who cares? They're all fake people. They're all fake things. But they're like a mirror or like a shadow, I guess. I don't know. Something. It's equivalent to stuff in real life where people want to be included. People of color want to be included. The LGBTQ community wants to be included. Everybody wants to be included, and that's a great thing. That's a good thing. So stop bitching, stop whining. If you don't like it because it's got a woman protagonist or a person of color or a transgender person or whatever as the main person, go cry to your mama. I don't care.